When Milana Vayntrub trades punchlines for presence, she doesn't just shed her Allstate Lily persona, she shatters it. In this new photo series, there are no glittering filters or over-the-top theatrics, only an invitation to quiet wonder. From the first frame, you're drawn into a world where every ray of dawn, every hushed breath, every drop of sea spray becomes a brushstroke in a portrait of unguarded confidence. Prepare to feel the hush of silk against skin, to taste salt on your lips, and to witness strength and vulnerability entwined in perfect harmony. The series opens in a sun-suffused loft bedroom. Pale morning light streams through towering industrial windows, flooding the space with a warm, rose-tinted glow. Milana stands just inside the frame, a weightless silk robe tethered at her waist yet unbound by gravity, as if the fabric itself breathes around her. One tie hangs loose, one hem flutters in response to a subtle breeze, and without a single prop, the room feels suspended in calm. Shadow and light trace the gentle curve of her collarbone and the clean arc of her waist, as if the camera itself were rediscovering the classical ideals of form and restraint. Here, minimalism speaks volumes. What is left unseen becomes the most potent hint of all. Moments later, we find her on a secluded beach at first light, where the horizon melts from slate gray to whisper-soft silver. The only sound is the tide receding, a steady rhythm that mirrors the pace of her stride into the frigid water. She wears a two-piece so pared down it could pass for a sculptural study in geometry rather than swimwear. Tiny droplets gather into glistening constellations on her skin, then scatter with each gentle wave. The camera never pursues, instead observing at a respectful distance as if granting her the freedom to simply be. Her posture, balance between movement and stillness, transforms a stretch of sand and surf into an intimate runway, compelling you to feel the salt-laced breeze and the hush of dawn as though you were standing beside her. The tone shifts seamlessly to a black-and-white studio portrait, stark, unadorned, yet brimming with emotion. Against a seamless backdrop, Milana angles three-quarters to the lens, one hand resting at her hip, the other draped across her chest in a gesture that straddles armor and invitation. Light carves precise highlights along her cheekbones and collarbones, while shadow edits every line of her figure. There is no distraction, no set dressing, no fuss, just the raw interplay of light and sentiment. In Monochrome, color's seductive pull vanishes, and what remains is the sculptural poetry of her form and the unspoken story in her gaze. From stark studio stillness, we drift into the intimate fog of a steam-filled bathroom. The glass of the shower door is so glazed with condensation that the world outside dissolves into a watercolor haze. Hair slicked back, skin luminous, Milana captures a quick selfie in the mirror. No filter, no retouch, just the undeniable glow of freshly cleansed skin and candid self-assurance. A towel pooled at her feet and another casually draped within arm's reach hint at the fleeting nature of the moment. It is an everyday ritual elevated to art, a reminder that self-care is not mere routine but a language of self-respect written in water droplets and soft light. Next, the cityscape beckons on a rooftop bathed in golden hour hues. String lights flicker awake around the patio's perimeter as the skyline softens into a tapestry of twinkling windows. Milana is dressed in a fitted ensemble hand-painted with metallic accents, fine strokes that catch the sun like molten ink tracing her form. She leans against the railing, arms folded, eyes steady, channeling the still confidence of someone who knows she belongs in both the urban panorama and the private narrative she's crafting. A distant helicopter cuts a line across the sky, yet in this moment, time itself seems to pause in deference to her presence. Returning indoors, the series tightens into a series of close-ups that feel like whispered confidences. The camera hunts for the grammar of presence, a soft inhalation before a smile, the instant a shoulder loosens, the way her fingers graze the hem of sheer fabric. These fragments, small and exquisite, reveal more about her than any grandiose gesture ever could. Layers of translucent textiles float over structured silhouettes. Minimal jewelry glints, just enough to punctuate the composition without stealing the scene. Each frame is deliberate punctuation, a reminder that precision can be as powerful as boldness. Finally, the series reaches its quiet crescendo in a candlelit boudoir. Teal uplights cast amber ovals on silk sheets, the interplay of colors both unexpected and entirely natural. Milana reclines in a slip so gossamer it seems to hover above her skin, a fine chain at her waist twinkling like starlight. Her head tilts back, eyes closed, as if she's allowing the stillness to settle fully into her bones. There are no sensational reveals, only sovereignty, the unshakable authority that comes from embracing oneself without reservation. Across these 7 scenes, Milana Vayntrub redefines what it means to be unveiled. She reminds us that true revelation isn't about spectacle but about mastery of restraint, that confidence need not shout but can resonate in the spaces between heartbeats. Which moment called to you most? The silent poetry of dawn light, the salt-sweet hush of the shore, the monochrome dialogue of light and shadow, the unguarded steam fog confession, the metropolitan glow at dusk, the delicate choreography of close-ups, or the candlelit finale of sovereign calm. Whichever it is, lean in, let it linger, and remember that the most compelling stories are whispered in quiet.